Hi guys, Friend or Fiction. We have chapter 15, Carrots. I'm home. Bo practically tackled me as soon as I opened the door. Jade, if you didn't pick me up from school today, he said, as if I had no idea. Mom picked me up in the truck, and Dad came too. And the truck defeated the bad guy. You should pick me up from school again soon, and then maybe one day you will be able to defeat the bad guy. I ruffled his hair. I hope so. Hey, guess what? I bought you a present. I took out a brand new set of crayons from my Save-A-Lot bag. There were only 4 in the box, but they were the fancy twisty kind, where each crayon was actually 2 different colors. Ooh, I like those crayons. Bo's eyes practically popped out of his head. Do you like them? I asked. He grabbed them out of my hands and took off, so that seemed like a yes. Bo, manners, Mom called from the kitchen. He ran back and gave me a big hug. Thank you, Jade. Welcome, I said. Welcome, echoed Zoe. He wandered into the living room. All of a sudden, Mom appeared next to us. She was out of breath, like someone had chased her in here from the kitchen. Mom always seemed like someone was chasing her. She wiped some hair out of her face. She set down the screwdriver in her hand, and she shot Zoe a smile. Who's this, Jadie? I twisted my hands together and rubbed them on my pants. Seriously, where did all this hand sweat come from whenever I was nervous? I could have totally normal hands, dry hands even. And then, bam! There they were, the slimiest, slipperiest things ever. I took a breath. It was now or never. This is my friend I went to the mall with, I said. Zoe, she's new at school. She actually lives right across the street. Mom looked Zoe up and down, and I bit my tongue hard. Once I had my idea at the mall, I'd used all my extra money to get as many cheap accessories as I could find. Now, Zoe was wearing a clip-on blue string on one side of her head and a clip-on pink one on the other. She wore blue glasses that didn't really do anything for her seeing, but looked really cool, and a pair of very realistic-looking stuck-on earrings above her real ones made her look like her ears were double pierced. It was all kind of silly, but necessary, too. Dad would never connect this Zoe to the one in my notebook. Nice to meet you, Zoe, Mom said. I've been meaning to reach out to our new neighbors. I hope you and your family are enjoying it here so far. Zoe? Dad said, shooting me a surprised look. I didn't think that was a common name. And then he winked at me. Whew! Apparently, Dad knew some sort of secret parent-kid code about not mentioning your daughter's imaginary best friend when her new real one with the same name shows up. Little did he know they were the same person. I exhaled and let my tongue free. Check out what I got at the mall. I pulled out the bag and held it up. Ta-da! The cap of the hat looked like half a basketball with a shiny black cylinder coming out of it. On top of that was a mini hoop. I went over to Dad's chair and handed it over, along with a teeny ball that came with it. That, he said, is amazing. Oh. Mom laughed and started running in place. Then she swerved around an invisible member of the other team, dribbled an imaginary ball, and finally tossed a wiggly noodle through the hoop above Dad's head. 3-pointer, she yelled, and pumped her fists in the air. Playing basketball together takes a whole new meaning now, said Dad. He dropped the noodle into his mouth. Thanks so much, Jade. Very thoughtful. This also makes eating extra convenient. Anyone want to throw a cookie in here? Not before dinner. Mom wagged a joking finger at him. 10 minutes till it's ready, she told us. She picked up the screwdriver and set it down. And if we're lucky, we might have a fixed kitchen sink for dessert. Bo giggled. That's not a food. He turned to Zoe. Want to help me make art? Zoe shot me a look and I nodded. That weird pang from earlier slid back into my stomach. It was weird that Zoe was looking at me to decide something like this. In some ways, shouldn't she just be her own person and make her own choices? I swallowed and tried to brush it off. It was fine. She was just trying to do the right thing, and I was just trying to help. Totally, Zoe said to Bo. She flashed me a sideways smile and followed Bo to our room. I took a few more big breaths. The mall was so fun, and dinner would be too. But my heart was still beating fast. What if Zoe's hair clips came out, and her fake glasses fell off right on her face, and her sticky earrings unstuck? One little slip, and Dad might realize that real Zoe and the notebook Zoe were the same Zoe. And he'd freak out, and his cancer would probably come rushing back. Maybe I was being paranoid, but either way, I couldn't risk it. Do you think that's realistic? Well, first of all, is Dad going to really know that fake Zoe and real Zoe are the same Zoe? My guess is Dad probably wouldn't make that connection. And then just because he's worried about something, would that really bring cancer back? No, it really doesn't. So while Zoe did art projects with Bo, I took out my notebook and sparkly pencil and made sure Zoe wouldn't accidentally let her real identity slip. So now Jade's writing. Zoe and Jade were having another super fun day. School was great, the mall was amazing, and dinner would be pure awesome sauce. Literally, because Mom was making pasta with her famous sauce. Even though Zoe looked different now, her personality was the same. She was still friendly and outgoing, and Jade knew her family would love her. At dinner, everybody had good, normal conversations. Zoe did the best job remembering that Jade's family, her dad especially, would be so confused and freaked out if that she knew she was the Zoe from Jade's stories. She was totally up for helping to hide it however she could. So she made sure to keep her accessories in place. It was a perfect end to another perfect day. I closed my notebook right as Mom was calling everybody to the table. "Thank you for letting me stay," Zoe said once we were all seated. "This is so great. I am so happy to be here." Mom and Dad smiled at her and then at each other. A warm, fuzzy feeling overtook me. My parents were happy, not worried, not tired, not stressed out. After all these zillions of years in Tevea, watching people come and go, their daughter finally had a real best friend, and she was at the table. Now everyone could relax. Maybe even me. "I can eat spaghetti with my ears," Bo told Zoe. "Watch." "Bo?" Mom made a face, and he put the noodle down. "Fine," he said, "but I really can." "I believe you," said Zoe. She munched on some roasted carrots and got this look on her face like she was in food heaven. "These are amazing." "Wow. Oh, wow, these are the most delicious orange sticks I've ever had in my entire life." I coughed. "Orange sticks?" Pretty sure they were only orange sticks, aka Eretz, she'd ever had in her entire life. But Mom and Dad probably didn't need to know that. I snuck a peek at my parents. They looked more entertained than anything else. But we were only a second away from "who is this girl and why does she not seem not to know what carrots are?" questions. So I did the only thing I could. I lifted some carrots into my mouth and, super excited, I totally in a commercial for carrots. In fact, Zoe and I are actually performing one right now, kind of a way. I said, "Carrots." Zoe's lit up. "Carrots," she repeated. "What a word, what a food. They're the carrotiest carrots in the world," I added. Everybody erupted into laughs. I leaned back in my seat and took a breath. Okay, our secret was safe for now. "How was kindergarten today, Bo?" Zoe asked, once everybody had calmed down. "So fun." He threw a handful of spaghetti noodles into the air, and Mom gave him another look. It was one thing to throw a noodle at Dad's hat or to threaten to eat it with your ears, but it was a little different to basically dump a handful on the floor. "It's confetti," he explained, "for celebration of fun kindergarten." I looked at Zoe and she looked at me. Her eyes gleaming. Without saying a word, we both burst into laughter. Observation. Sometimes perfect nights don't look perfect. Your best friend wears a goofy disguise and goes bonkers for carrots. Food ends up all over the floor and you have to help clean it up even though you weren't the one who made the mess. Questions for further research. Why can't every night be unexpectedly this good? Unexpectedly this good. But of course, it just couldn't stay that way. Hey, Jade, Dad called me before bed. What are the chances, after all this time, that you'd actually make a friend named Zoe? Pretty funny, right? It felt wrong to try to lie or agree that it was super funny, so instead of saying anything, I bent down and hugged him. Night, Dad. He squeezed me as tight as he could, which wasn't very tight at all. Night, Jade. End of chapter.